Hello everyone, this is Curtis from psnstores.com, and today we are looking at Brawl. Now very quickly, I should probably go over the history of this game, and what has led to this game specifically being made. If you remember, about a year ago, it was, I want to say it was last February, so a little over a year ago, this game called Basement Crawl came out, and it was kind of a Bomberman style game, much more of a horror vibe to it, and instead of like cartoony or anything. And it came out, and it was not a whole lot to it, but the thing was that it was broken. It was completely broken. Like there was tons of bugs. Like the online really didn't work that well. It was mostly an online only thing. There was like local, you could kind of do like a local match with some people, but you know, it was kind of a mess. We reviewed it, gave it a 1 star. It was something else. It ended up being that the developer kind of responded to it. You know, the reviews came out, they were not kind. The developer kind of came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna put out a patch. We're working on it right now. We're gonna try to fix the bugs. You know, we want to make things right." Kind of time went on, and over time, we just kind of stopped hearing about it. Then later on, I think it was maybe last summer. Could be a little wrong in the timeline here, but they then kind of came out and said, "Actually, we are rebuilding the game from the ground up. We're gonna be calling it Basement Brawl." You know, from the ground up, we're going to add new things to it, and it's going to be a separate thing. And when it does come out, anyone who bought the original game will get this game for free, of course. But it was all kind of an effort to make things right. So eventually that went from Basement Brawl just to Brawl itself. And here we are. This is what the game is now. It is a lot more expansive. Like, I've kind of played a few hours of this, and it's kind of shocking in a way to play this and think about the state in which Basement Crawl came out. Not so much the bugs that were in it, but more like just the almost non-existence of content. You know, there was some maps you could play locally, or you could go online and play it with other people. And this game has kind of a pseudo story mode. It's got local multiplayer with a number of different modes here that we'll get into. It's got online multiplayer with the same modes, and it's got a challenge mode with Horde and Sheep, which we'll talk about that later too. And then a bunch of like unlockable extra stuff. Even like, so you have your trophies here. You have in-game trophies, and then some that are marked specifically with a trophy, so that's something that you earn like a PlayStation trophy for. But then there's other stuff for like finishing campaigns. A lot of the characters from Basement Crawl are back, but I think there's a couple new ones as well. And there might be some that were removed, but a lot of the ones that you probably remember, if you do remember that game, are back. So we're just gonna jump in. We're gonna do a couple story mode stuff just so you can see what the structure of that is. So I have finished the girl and the teddy bear. Of course, her, the clown, the dummy. I believe the thief was also in it. And I think the character between these two that's currently locked, I believe they were also in the original game. But then there's also some new ones. So so I finished this one. I did the first stage for the sad clown. I think we'll do with the dummy stage. So you see there's a little like character story here. So Crash Test Dummies were a semi-popular rock band from Winnipeg, and an honestly baffling toy line from the 80s. Dummy is nothing like that, and inexplicable as he is ruthless. He serves the Emporium single-mindedly with a penchant for destruction. So the Emporium is kind of the location that we are trapped in. And then you notice we have some abilities. So he has a remote detonate to remotely detonate bombs, and then he's got freeze bombs. So we'll choose him. So this story mode was going to take you through a handful of levels. We got a narrator.
That thing in the wheelchair, was it even human? Or just a doll that willed itself to life?
Each level, there's kind of an intro. Actually, the narrator will also speak throughout the level as well.
I am wondering the same thing. Why does a crash test dummy need a wheelchair? Why did the chicken cross the road? Why are we in a factory? Ah, the mysteries of life. But there's a better question. Why did someone sprinkle this place with those explosion triggers? Who needs explosion triggers?
So,
Not me, that's for certain.
I don't know what I think just yet of the narrator. So this essentially operates as a tutorial for each character. The first couple of stages kinds of like introduces you to their different abilities, gets you to use it, use whatever ability they have. So like the clown, he can kick bombs. So like some of his stages, you're like kicking pipes out of the way and kind of maneuvering through this little maze-like area. And then eventually it leads on to like 1v1 fights where you're doing full-on like bomberman style gameplay. So there's a button right here. I guess I'm not really doing anything with it, so I can, let's see, we can go out of here.
Upgrade. Now you can detonate your bombs remotely. That is, before they blow up on their own. Handy, right? Now only if you had some bombs too. Maybe there's some lying around here somewhere.
And so yeah, they're kind of, I like this concept of it reminds me somewhat of a fighting game in a way, in the way the story is structured, because it kind of gives you an introduction to that character. It kind of takes you through a very short little arc for their own story, so you get to kind of know who they are. But then it's also, because it's kind of a pseudo like tutorial, it kind of lets you get familiar with how they play. So when you get into like the real game modes and playing online and other people, you kind of know how they play now, and you know the mechanics of the game itself and what their different abilities do. So we have this bomb here, so I can place it with X. It's gonna blow up over a certain amount of time, but I can also just remotely detonate it now, which actually is pretty useful. Just because that means other players maybe don't have as much time to get away. And then these are upgrades that I'm picking up, so every time I pick up a bomb, you see I have 2 bombs. That means I can now place 2 bombs at a time. And then this upgrade here means the bomb's range is larger. And then obviously that's your health pack. A lot of your skills have a cooldown. So for instance, the girl and the teddy bear, they can throw a knife, and actually the knife will stick. Like if I threw a knife from here, it would stick on this wall, and then like one of my skills is to teleport to where that knife is, so you can kind of get across gaps and get closer to other enemies.
So about those triggers, there's 2 of them for each door. They need to be pushed simultaneously. Yes, I'm also baffled by the design decisions of my chief engineer, who wants efficiency and logic in their architecture, right?
Yeah, so it's again, I'm not sure how I feel about the narrator. It's kind of a nice addition, but it's really like it's been surreal up to this point. I don't like, this game is okay. I don't know if I'm a big fan of it or anything. It is so much better than Basement Crawl. Excuse me, sorry about that. It is a lot better than Basement Crawl. And granted, that's not hard to do. But it is crazy because this game just has so much more content to it.
They need to be pushed at the same time. Is that
Sorry,
concept
dude.
too difficult? Yay! You figured out a way to bypass the state-of-the-art security system.
There's just so much more to it, you know, and It's just, you know, looking back on it, it's weird to think that Basement Crawl came out with as little content as there was. So I guess at the end of the day, it's good that this ended up being kind of the final product. But I don't know. We'll do this stage and then we'll get into some of the other game modes. Oh, that's not gonna...
I'm not entirely sure why those ones eat bombs. I don't think it's feasible. But hey, here they are.
Alright, these guys eat bombs. So you wanna detonate them before they can... There we go. Yeah, I can actually see the detonator being really useful. Oh, right, there's another switch down there. But yeah, you know, it's still... your main game modes are still very much like... It's like Bomberman, you know? I think... I mean, it's been so long, I'd have to go back to Basement Crawl and try to play a little bit of it. I'm pretty sure it is pretty different. A lot of the way it's set up. Other than, like, of course, yes, there are still kind of the same kind of themes and some of the same characters have returned. But aside from that, this first stage is actually a bit more involved than the other two characters I've done so far. Oh, they're just gonna keep spawning, huh? Yeah, so the clown and the girl, like, their first stage went by really fast. Oh, I just killed myself there. Alright, well, you kind of get the idea of how this is going to be set up. Some of the stages are like this, where you go room to room, and then some of them are just kind of stuck to a single map, and it's like a 1v1 fight with another character. But again, you know, like I said, the gist of it is very much to get you to kind of familiarize yourself with each character, with the mechanics of the game, so that when you jump into the actual, like, multiplayer modes, you're kind of ready for it. So if you go to local multiplayer, you've got Versus, which is just challenge your friends in a free-for-all mode. You have Duel, which is a 1v1 mode. Classic, where each character has a starting bonus. Max bombs and range is 9. So I imagine this is probably maybe... Let's see. And then we have Sumo. Shove your opponents out of the board to win. So yeah, a lot of different game modes. We'll do, I guess, a quick kind of free for all here. Let's do the girl, and we can look at game parameters. Let's do the time limit at 100 seconds, and then bots will just be random characters. And then here's some different maps. So we got some locked maps right now. I believe all the maps are new. There might be some that are kind of somewhat similar. But you see in the bottom right, it kind of shows you the layout of the map. And then you got your preview image. Let's see, what's one that I haven't really done? It's Roller Coaster of Hate. I don't think I've done that one, actually. I mean, I've only played a few maps here.
Dance, my puppets.
Yeah, so I'm in the top left right now. And yeah, like if you know, it's very much a bomberman kind of style of game. This is going to be one of the things that I hope to review this, but the time of, you know, the timing of how quick I'll be able to get a review out, it's going to depend on me getting people over, because I want to actually play this with some other people locally, because at least so far, from what I've played of it, it works, and that's kind of a big deal with the way that Basement Crawl kind of functioned. Like, it was completely broken in a lot of ways, and so if nothing else, this does work, which is a big first step, I think. Oh man. Not doing well. Oh, look at the girl, man, the computer in the bottom right is killing it right now. But yeah, like, I want to get people over and play it locally before any kind of review, but I did want to get a video out to at least show what this is for people who remember. And I don't know, you know, I don't think I've played enough of it to make a good judgment call yet, but so far it seems fine. You know, it works, and that's a good thing, and it is what it is. You know, I feel like you probably kind of know what you're getting into at this point, but I don't know, it seems fine for what it is. It's nice to see this come out and have so much more content now, and they've really expanded upon it, and so it's clear that effort was put into kind of making good on the whole situation. But that is kind of your versus. One mode that I actually do really like is color domination. And this I can actually choose all these characters I haven't unlocked. So we have the wrestler, we have the mime, we have the toy maker. Toy maker's new. Let's play as the toy maker. We'll keep it at 100 seconds just to keep it short, because there's still some other things I do want to show. Less maps here. But let's do... Oh man. I'm assuming I'll just unlock those maps as I finish other campaigns. Each campaign you can finish very quick. Like, it took me about probably 30 minutes to finish the girls campaign. So let's see, the toy maker, he can kind of dash. I don't know what square is. But the whole thing of this is your bombs put down paint. It actually reminds me of Splatoon. That's kind of the first thing I thought about. Is because you're covering the... I mean, it's a different goal and everything, but you're covering the map. I guess it's a similar goal. You want to try to cover the map with your paint and have the highest percentage. And I think just because even if you end the map with like a lower percentage of paint, that doesn't mean you lose, because you're still scoring like throughout the map or throughout the game with like how much paint you have covered, like how much coverage you've got. So it can kind of go back and forth. I like this mode a lot, actually. This is probably the most fun I've had with this game so far. And I could see this totally being like, if you get into some matches, like even online with some other people, like maybe if you have the match go a little bit longer than 100 seconds, like it could probably get into like some really heated battles between people, like going back and forth, and it just seems like a lot of fun. Like, you're not, focusing on taking other people down. It's just a matter of like, I'm just laying bombs, trying to get as much paint coverage as I can. So I can just keep laying bombs down, and Obviously, you don't want to lay them next to each other, but I think I lost. Or, yeah. Man, that bottom right bot is killing it. And so yeah, you see like your tiles painted, tiles lost, max coverage, bombs planet. You can kind of scroll through different stats. Online multiplayer, if we hop into, you have arena and duel. I did one online match. It ended up being 1v1 because it just couldn't find 2 other people. So haven't done a whole lot of online yet, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. I imagine there won't be very many people playing this. That is my guess. But we'll see, because this is $20. I'm not sure about that price, but I mean, it, you know, if you had Basement Crawl, you get it for free, but for new people, I don't know. So yeah, you have challenge modes here, Horde and Sheep mode. So Horde mode, we'll jump into real quick. Let's play as, let's do the mime. So Horde mode is pretty much how it sounds. You have different waves of these kind of generic enemies. Man, you just gotta take them down. Let's get more bombs. This is where I think for the dummy, the detonator could really come in useful. Just because like you lay a bomb down and like the AI can easily just kind of escape it. So I can see it being pretty helpful. The lightning things that I'm collecting are actually, it's like a special that you can unleash. I don't know if I'll get enough of them. I'll try to, let's see if I can run around and get enough of these. Although, weirdly, I don't know if it's actually filling up for the mime. You see the red bar there is my health, but on the left side, there's usually a blue bar that fills up when you collect these lightning. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to fill up now. And that's kind of like a super that you hit triangle, and it's basically like a bomb that detonates around you. Let's see if I can get more of these. Here's another. Alright, I think I might have it now. Nope, not yet. Should be one more. There we go. So. And then I can... Oh, crap. Got a little too close. Basically, you hit triangle and it's just an explosion. So. But that's Horde mode. Then you have Sheep. So, as a shepherd, protect your herd against minions. Press triangle to place explosive decoy, luring minions away from herd. Use lever to collect points and reset cottage. During collection, each sheep increases your score, but each minion in cottage lost you minus points. Some of that writing is weird. I don't really like this mode. I've played it a few times, not a huge fan. I'll do the dummy. Essentially, you have on one side of the board, you have these sheep, and from the left side, you're gonna have kind of those enemies coming, and they're gonna try to kill your sheep. So obviously, you want to prevent that from happening. And I just killed myself. But yes, this is what I mean by that dummy having that remote detonator could be really good. Oh, that kills my sheep too. That's no good. Yeah, I just don't really care for this mode. And I feel like there's something I need to be doing with the sheep. I think actually I need to hit that lever. I think is what I need to be doing. Let's see if I can get over there. Because I've got a ton. Yeah, so basically you need, you know, once the sheep are going to keep spawning. And once you get a ton of them, you kind of cash in. Oh, I don't have my thing. Yeah. So, you know, there's that. Let's see. So we did versus. Let's do classic. This might actually be closer to basement crawl, just because there's a lot of different power-ups here that you can grab. I mean, closer to basement crawl that was bomberman, but. And this is all, yeah. So this is I mean, basement crawl was pretty similar to this, where each character would have their own bonus. So you have like bonus range, you have bonus speed, extra bombs, things like that. So let's do the dummy again, or let's do someone else I haven't played as. Yeah, we can do the wrestler, or we can do the thief. That's bonus speed. The thief can actually turn invisible. So we'll do that. We'll do spelunking. There you go.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh. So it looks like you have a life count here also. Oh, in this mode, you actually don't have your power-ups either. So, like, even though the thief can actually turn invisible, that's one of their skills, you don't have that. It doesn't look like, because those icons are not here. So, okay. Oh boy. It would seem that I'm throwing 4 bombs out at any point. Alright. Oh, I just walked right into that explosion. Great. Oh no. It's just me and the wrestler now. Alright. Shield. Oh no. Ah, just lost it for myself. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously this is something you're going to want to play with other people, not bots, but I don't think bots was like, I don't even know if bots was a thing that this game had, like Basement Crawl had. I'm pretty sure it had nothing like that. So again, you know, it's, if you do remember that game, if you did get it before, one, this is free now for you, but there's a lot more to this now. It's a lot more fleshed out. It's kind of the still the same kind of core concept that they had with the game. You know, very much Bomberman style arcade game, just that it's got a more like a horror kind of vibe to it, which is neat. Like I like stuff like that. I'm not sure if I like this game a whole lot. It seems okay, and it's kind of nice to see. It feels like this is closer to their kind of original vision, closest they've ever got, you know, compared to what we had before. And it's good to see that this game isn't broken. That was kind of my concern booting this up, was like, oh god, what if it's got a lot of bugs again? What if it's but it's not. It seems to be working fine, and I'll have to test out online a bit and see how that goes. But so far, you know, that's what it is. It is $20. Again, not, you know, if you're not getting this for free, I don't know if I could recommend it at that price. But if you like what you see, you know, I mean, it is available now. I think the story mode is cool. Like I think that's a good concept to it. Again, I've only finished one campaign, but it seems pretty well put together. And it's nice to see like all these different modes and color domination. That's where it's at. That's probably my favorite mode. So that's gonna do it. Also, yeah, so when you get collectible points, so you can unlock concept art, you can unlock models. So we wanted to get the girl. You can unlock her model, and you can kind of rotate it. So that is, that's kind of your collectible stuff. But that is Brawl. It is out now on PS4. It is $20, and hopefully we'll get a review up soon. Again, that's dependent on me getting people over to play it. Because I do want to play local multiplayer with some people and then do some online stuff. So, hoping to review this. Hopefully it'll be soon, maybe within the next week or so. But that's the game. It does work. And once again, if you did buy Basement Crawl, this is free for you. So, if that's the case, go ahead and check it out. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. I know this is kind of a long video, but I wanted to cover kind of everything there is and talk a little bit about, you know, the situation that kind of led to this anyways. So that's all I got. I will talk to you all later.